What's up, y'all? I'm out here on the range, as you can see back behind me. Absolutely fantastic day out here. I've been doing some testing and getting some things sighted in out here. Got a couple more things on the agenda, and for this one right here, we're heading back for some more 30-30. So we've got the two-piece jelly contraption going out here with our bench and the lab radar chrono on this end, and then down there at 51 yards, we got our gel blocks. So down here again, 2 blocks of gel. Now I've done one test in this already. It was actually another rifle test, so I'll leave a link above if y'all hadn't seen that. I flipped them around, so all we got up here is just basically the little straight lines where these continued on. So plenty of room up here, and hopefully I'll get lucky and miss those tracks down here in this one. And of course, as always, I am sticking with that heavy clothing barrier that's got the layer of denim, fleece, and 2 layers of cotton t-shirt. And then back down here on this end, once again, we headed back to a couple more 30-30 rounds. I just tested a couple 30-30 rounds about a month ago. I'll leave a link if y'all are interested in that. But I figured we'd go to some more common stuff. You know, I tested the Lever Evolution, and the Hammer Down is the other 30-30 I tested. Those are a little bit tricky to get a hold of sometimes, and then, whereas these two Federals, especially the Power Shock, very, very common round. You can find it at Wally World, pretty much anywhere that you can find 30-30, you're gonna find this Power Shock, and really the same thing with the Fusion. So again, both of them from Federal, one of them the Fusion, one of them the Power Shock, both of them 170 grain. I went with the 170 because that's all I had in the Fusion. I do have 150 in this Power Shock, but I figured we'd go weight for weight so we could get a real good comparison between them. So really the difference here is one's bonded and one isn't. That's really the main difference. This right here, Fusion, is a bonded soft point. You can see there, no kind of plating or anything like that. It's more of a flat point on this one here. Now the velocity on this is saying 2200 at the muzzle. Not sure what barrel length. I don't think it said. It may say on their website. Probably somewhere 22, 24, something like that. And then again, the Power Shock non-bonded, but it is a jacketed soft point also. You can see it's more rounded, whereas the bonded here, the Fusion, it's more of a flat point there. So a little bit different design as far as shape on the point, same kind of cartridge and all. 170 grain again, and this one also is saying 2200 at the muzzle. So same exact velocities. They're probably even using the same type of powder, I would guess, the same powder charge, just a different projectile. And as far as what we're going to test them from, I got my good old Henry 30-30 here with the 20-inch barrel. That thing's got such nice pretty wood on it. I think it's got the nicest looking wood on all my Henrys. Now I know this scope is way too high before y'all go down there and tear me up over it. It's just something that I stuck on there about a month ago just to do some testing with this thing. So whether you're in the 30-30 camp or not, this ought to be another interesting one. Let me get this stuff set up and let's see what they can do. All right, let's get some speeds on these things. I'm gonna do a 5-round average from each one. We'll start with the Power Shock first. So if y'all aren't familiar with this lab radar chrono, I mention it every time. You're gonna get multiple readings. The large number is gonna be your muzzle velocity, and you're gonna get 5 more that I've got set for 10 yards, 25, 51, which is where the gel is, 75, and 100. Sometimes we won't get to 100 just because of noisy interference with the radar or whatever reason, but hopefully we'll get most of them anyway. See what we can do here. Remember, the box was saying 2200 on both of these. This is an awkward position, but I should be able to make it happen. I forgot to bring my lead sled, so I'm working with this other one. Yeah, see, we didn't get 100 there. We got 2105. It's hard to work my lever with this one here too. At 2117, it don't want to give us the 100 on this for some reason. It's really picky with all those trees and stuff out there sometimes giving me my 100 yarder with this. Try a little bit higher impact. That worked a little better. 2078, it gave us the 100 on that. I may have it aimed a little bit low. Let's try that high hold again, see if that really did make a difference. No, we didn't get that one. 2095, one more. At least we got 100. Yes, it's really tricky because my lever's all hung up on this little pad here. We'll get through it though. That steel's shaking out there too. That may be part of it messing with that radar. We got the 100 there too, 2084. So definitely not the 2200, not far off. Again, they probably got that out of 22, 24, who knows. But let's get this reset and let's check out these Fusions. All right, let's run 5 rounds of these Fusions and see what they do. I suspect they probably gonna be nearly identical. Got 2157. We got our 100 on that. I actually think I was holding too high now that I'm trying a couple of different positions. Got 2089. That steel's rocking out there. I'm gonna give it a chance to slow down a little bit. I believe that may be part of my little trouble sometimes. It's still swinging, but let's try it. Got 2130. Yeah, I think I was holding a little too high, actually. I've been holding towards the bottom this time. 2118. One more. And 2138, so I believe we were a little bit higher on that fusion for whatever reason. Let's check out that average. All right, I just realized I didn't even show y'all the summary screen on the doggone power shocks, but we'll go over these fusions, then I'll show you the power shock. So on the fusions, you had an average of 2,126 feet per second. You had an extreme spread of 68 and a standard deviation of 25.2. So quite a big spread on that. So 21, 25, 26, I think it is on that. And then we'll go back to the power shock. It was 2,096, so 30 feet per second difference. I would say that's within the margin of error, probably nearly identical there. This one had a pretty good extreme spread too, not quite as big, but it was 39 with a standard deviation of 15.6. So not very consistent out of either one of these two rounds, but I feel like they're both still gonna do really good in the gel. Let me get this reset. Y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's Federal Feud jelly time. I'm gonna put one of each round into the gel, starting with this power shock first. Hopefully everything stays in. I'm feeling a little sketchy about this for some reason. Hopefully I didn't jinx myself by saying that. That actually went exactly where I was aiming. Hopefully it stayed in. Let me go see what I got. All right, y'all, that power shock down there is looking fantastic. This fusion's really got its work cut out for it for sure, but I got faith in it. I believe it can match that performance. So let's see if we can hold it together to put one more round in the gel. This is always the sketchy one. The last gel round of the day. Man, y'all, I almost put that round right in that other one. Let me go see if we can use that. All right, y'all, sure enough, I put that thing almost in the same hole down there. Against my better judgment, I'm gonna send another one, and the reason I'm saying that is because it's perfectly fine down there. I can see what went on, y'all be able to see what went on, and it didn't affect it from what I can tell. I wanna put one just to make sure it didn't give it an extra inch of penetration or something though, so let's see what we get. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, if this thing goes in the bottom or whatever happens, this is it. This is the last round. We're just gonna look at what we got down there. I try to be real careful and stay away from the bottom, and then I end up going a little high. So I'm gonna try to go low, but if it hits the bottom, it is what it is. All right, that didn't hit the bottom, but it went a little more right than I wanted to. That should be good between that and the other one. Let's go check out what we got. All right, I think we ended up with plenty to check out down here. It's a little bit messy, but I'll pick y'all up and give you plenty of angles. All of them are definitely valid rounds, and I'm glad I sent that other bonded one because it did pretty much verify the penetration on that. So what we got here, this cluster on the top, it ends kind of like right there. Behind it is that other bonded one, but a lot of this disruption here in the front, that was the first one. That was the power shock, and then right behind it is the bonded one. So some of that that is the bonded one that you're seeing behind it. Again, I'll pick you up, but they are running together. But I'll just tell you right now, long story short, both of these things did an absolutely fantastic job, and they look really, really similar. The disruption and wound channel size looks nearly identical between all of them. You can see they go in through here into this second block. All three of them kept on trucking. Right there is your power shock. It actually stopped the shortest, but it looks like it may be the largest expanded size, and I don't see any fragmentation out of that one. Now, there may be a few little speckles. Actually, I do see a couple little speckles, but very, very little fragmentation. That's surprising because I figured that would fragment quite a bit. So all the way through here, all three of them also facing forward, so it don't look like any tumbling happened unless they tumbled again. But really, really nice expansion on that power shock. And then the other two fusions, nearly identical again. The one's right behind this power shock, and then the other one's right up under that. I'll show you on the back side, you'll get a nice clear picture, but same story. Very, very nice disruption, both of them into the second block, and these two fusions stopped exactly the same penetration. I mean, exactly the same. They're about 2 to 3 inches away from the end of this second block. But to be exact, as far as your penetration, this power shock went all the way out here to 27 inches, and then these two fusions are both all the way out here at 30 inches of penetration. So absolutely incredible penetration from all three of those rounds. See if I can get you a little better picture. So on the top there, that's the power shock and one of the fusions behind it. I think you can kind of tell the separation of the wound channels there, but as you can see, they all look nearly identical. We'll follow it on through here into this second block, and then right there is your power shock projectile, and then a little bit further right there, both of those are your fusions. And then if we come around here to the other side, on the bottom, again, that was the second fusion. On the top, you're looking at one of the fusions, and then behind it is the power shock. But as you can see again, all these wound channels look identical. You can barely tell any kind of difference. That one goes right in between those other two from the previous test, and then right there you can see it. That's the projectile from it. All right, let's check out these projectiles, y'all. Really, really nice looking stuff here. Both of these right here are the fusions, the bonded. They look nearly the same, so I'll probably just mess with one of these when we start looking at it. This right here is the power shock. This one looks really, really nice too. You can definitely tell the difference that this wasn't bonded and these were, just from the way that the lead kind of peels back with the jacket on these bonded. It kind of stays with it. Although you can see there, I don't know how well this thing's gonna focus. You can see on those fusions there, some of that lead looked like it was right on the edge of coming off there, but really, really nice performance. Really very, very nice expansion from it. The power shock, a closer look here. Obviously, you got a little bit more jagged, kind of uneven there, just because it wasn't bonded, but still, I mean, fantastic expansion from all three of these. So let's get the measurements and see what we lost. All three started at 170. This power shock here should have lost the most, and it barely lost anything though. 168.6 on that one. This fusion here is 169.4, and then this fusion here is 170.1. So I would say little to nothing lost actually on all three of these. So let's check the sizes and see what we got here. I would say this power shock is probably going to be bigger than those fusions. You got 619, 607, and this biggest direction here, you got 712. So really, really nice expansion right there from that one. And then these fusions here, you got 613, 600, and 590. So not as big of an ending size as that power shock, and you can definitely tell just from looking at them. And there you go, y'all, the Federal Power Shock and Fusion in 3030 Winchester. Very nice performance from all three of these. Absolutely incredible expansion, incredible penetration, very, very nice energy out of all three of these things. If I was going to pick from one of these, it would be whichever was available and whichever was cheaper, because in my opinion, both of these did just as good as each other, and they are both very capable of getting the job done. All right, y'all, that's gonna wrap it up for another 30-30 lever gun test. Definitely 2 more fantastic rounds right here. If you would have asked me before I did this test which one would I pick and which one was gonna be way better than the other one, I would have said that Fusion all day long, just because it's bonded and I didn't expect any loss from that. I did expect a lot of fragmentation, or at least a decent amount from that power shock, and it really surprised me at 50 yards even. I mean, no fragmentation really to speak of at all. So after seeing that, as far as my pick, it would be whichever one was cheaper and whichever one I could get a hold of the easiest. But let me know what y'all think about the performance from both of them out here today. Those of y'all who might run one or the other, what do you think as far as how similar these things perform? Did you think they would be that similar, or did you think there would be a bigger difference? If you run this power shock, this was the 170. Do you run this 170? Do you run the 150? Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts are. If you're doing some shopping, check out those affiliate links in the video description. Anything you buy after hitting up those links down there, I get a kickback from them towards the channel, so that really does help. Like I always tell you, I appreciate all my Range Gang members and every single one of y'all for supporting the channel like y'all do. I've had a lot of fun out here today with this nice weather. Tons of really good stuff on the way, so be on the lookout. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see you soon.